to Liverpool, the favourite of Europe. It is absolutely clear that Julian Ward will put his transfer focus on the midfield in the next summer transfer window and will have an intense transfer period. When we look at the Liverpool midfield, there are already serious problems in depth and there is a serious quality difference between the main players and the substitutes. Moreover, apart from these reasons, there are a number of players whose contracts are expiring and their place should definitely be filled. It is expected that the roads will definitely part ways with James Milner and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, who are out of contracts. Although contract negotiations with Naby Keita continue, there seems to be a possible separation. Considering all three players left, Liverpool midfield needs more than one player. Jude Bellingham is definitely the favourite name in this region. Although we have talked about this transfer many times, it is still worth mentioning. However, due to the high cost of the English player and the fact that he is on the radar of other European teams, this transfer is not certain. For this reason, Sporting Director Julian Ward and his team continue to work on alternative names. Another exciting young midfielder, DOMINIK SZOBOSZLAI, also stood out against Celtic on the night Bellingham wore his armband as captain of Borussia Dortmund and put in an impressive performance in the Champions League. The Hungarian scored a long-range goal that was brutally ruled out by VAR because one of his teammates was offside and was judged to have prevented Joe Hart from seeing the Hungarian player's shot. However, SZOBOSZLAI was not dropped from the game. Just seconds later, he intercepted on Hart's pass and not only intercepted the ball, but took advantage of the moment of chaos in Celtic's defence to see Andre Silva. He assisted the goal that put Leipzig ahead. SZOBOSZLAI's assist that night was his 6th assist for Leipzig in all competitions. That's certainly not a bad start for the creative midfielder with the determination and defensive skills needed right now in Jürgen Klopp's midfield. SZOBOSZLAI is an excellent Klopp midfielder, averaging high volume prints and succeeding at high volume while also contributing a lot to the third zone of the pitch. Because of his play style, it's no surprise that SZOBOSZLAI has admitted working with Klopp in the past would be a dream, and Julian Ward certainly sees it as a possibility this summer. Just like Bellingham, SZOBOSZLAI donned the captain's armband for his national side during Hungary's victory over Germany in the Nations League. But unlike Bellingham, it will be available at a much cheaper price with a release clause of around £61 million through the Hungarian star player. Not to mention Liverpool's good relations with Leipzig. It is a very positive situation for Liverpool to consider different alternatives. Moreover, all of the names looked at are young and high potential players. DOMINIK SZOBOSZLAI is one of them. Do you think SZOBOSZLAI can succeed at Liverpool? Liverpool injury roster and potential comeback matches. Liverpool are gearing up for a major clash in the Premier League on their way to Arsenal on Sunday. The Reds haven't had a good start to the season anyway and are struggling to get back to the top positions. Last weekend, Brighton drew 3-3, with Jürgen Klopp's team only 10 points from their 7 Premier League games. With this score, he is now in the 9th place. As a result, they trail early leaders Arsenal 11 points behind. However, the 2-0 win against Rangers in the Champions League helped Liverpool gain confidence. Before the trip to Emirates Stadium, let's take a look at the Liverpool injury roster and the potential return dates of a few key players. Although the Reds have not started the season well, they now want to turn the situation around. The bad situation in the league took a different turn in Europe. They lost 4-1 away to Napoli in the Champions League Group A opening match and needed a late goal from Joel Matip to beat Ajax 2-1. Most recently, they beat the Rangers 2-0 at Anfield. The groups did not start well, but then things seemed to be on track. Liverpool's not-so-good start has undoubtedly had its share of injuries, and now let's take a look at the current injury roster's comeback dates. Andy Robertson. The Scotland national team captain suffered a knee injury in the Champions League last month, when Liverpool lost 4-1 to Napoli. Speaking ahead of the Brighton game, Klopp explained that Robertson had made good progress but could not say when he would return. The Reds boss said, "It's going really well. It looks really good, so it's not out for long. He's already running on the field." This is a good sign. I don't know if it will be next week or next week. Robertson did not take part against the Rangers. His potential comeback is a league game against Arsenal on Sunday, October 9th, or a Champions League group game against Rangers on Wednesday, October 12th. Arthur Melo. It is unclear why the player on loan from Juventus was not included in the matchday squad against Rangers. Arthur had only trained with the main team the day before the match. Arthur arrived at Anfield in a fit condition, but played for the under-21 team twice last month to improve his fitness. His manager, Federico Pastorello, said, "The difference between England and Italy in that respect is huge, so there was a need to make up for the physical gap with his teammates. Now, he has recovered and is at the coach's disposal. I have no doubt that he will do very well with Liverpool." His potential comeback is unclear at this time. It is not known at this time whether he was left out with a new injury or the decision of the teacher. Curtis Jones. The midfielder has relived a repeat of a tibia problem he had trouble with earlier this season. Before losing to Napoli, Klopp said Jones' injury wasn't as bad as it was the first time. The Reds boss said, while he was out before, Curtis had a stress reaction in a certain bone around the tibia. "He was definitely good, it's okay now. It's not as bad as the first time, but not being in team practice again is bad enough, which doesn't help us much. Its potential comeback is currently unknown. However, it is stated that he can start field work individually after the 1st of February weeks." Naby Keita. Keita has only appeared in one substitute game for Liverpool this season in their Manchester City win in the Community Shield in July. The midfielder was first out because of his illness. Then, just as he was returning to the team, he suffered a muscle injury. When all this came together, he was removed from Liverpool's squad list for the Champions League. The expected return date was somewhere in October, so we had to make the decision, Klopp said earlier this month. The Guinean player is expected to start individual training within 2 weeks, although his potential comeback is not known with certainty. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. The former Arsenal midfielder has been on the treatment table since July. He tore his hamstring in a friendly against Crystal Palace during Liverpool's pre-season tour of Asia. Like Keita, Oxlade-Chamberlain was left out of the Reds' Champions League squad. The expected return date was somewhere in October. It's the same with Keita, Klopp said. Its potential return is not yet known.